Welcome to ProjectME, the podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, the founder of ProjectME, multimillionaire entrepreneur, former TV newscaster, money-making expert, female empowerment speaker, and self-proclaimed office supply addict. My mission is to take the mystery out of making big money. Every week on ProjectME, the podcast, I'll share success tips, strategies, and stories from other entrepreneurs, experts, and millionaires, showing you exactly how you can achieve your most exceptional life. Now let's get to it. Exciting announcement for all of my listeners. I've officially opened my exclusive group, the ProjectME Passive Income Posse, to the public. This group is by application only, so we can keep the group high vibe and spend our time, energy, and expertise only helping those of you who truly want massive success and impact. You get live weekly trainings from me, special guest coaches, and direct access to me and my business partner for all of your questions. To learn more and apply, go to projectmewithtiffany.com, click on Work With Me, and select ProjectME Posse. And of course, any questions, feel free to DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast and posse. I'm your host, Tiffany, and today I am sharing my secret sauce with you. And the great thing is all of you have the same secret sauce inside of you as well. It's just a matter of accessing it and shining a spotlight on it. How many times have you said to yourself or thought, oh my God, this market is so saturated. I want to be a health coach, or I want to help people with improve their wellness or their fitness or their businesses or whatever, but the market is so saturated. There's already so many people doing it. Oh, I have a dream to have a skincare line, but a gazillion people have skincare lines, and who would buy mine when they could buy, what's her name? Is it Kylie? Yeah, Kylie Jenner's, skincare line. Why would someone buy mine? I really am interested in joining this network marketing company, but there's already so many people in my area who are in this network marketing company. And so it's so saturated. There's no one left that's going to sign up. I know you guys have all thought this at some point, and you're right. The market and most markets are saturated. Anywhere, I don't know if you can hear me clapping right now. Anywhere there is money to be made, the market is going to be saturated. Period. End of story. Fitness, health, diet, skincare, making money. Relationships. It is going to be saturated because there's money to be made. But because it is such a high demand and such a big pain point and such a big desire point from people, that allows for there to be more room for people in the market. What there's not room for is basic. If you show up as basic, you will be broke. Basic equals broke. You come in and show up as a baller, you could be a fucking billionaire. No joke. We've obviously seen it happen, right? But you have to show up as that baller. Now, I don't mean you have to show up with like some aggressive, I'm like super cool kind of vibe. What I mean by a baller is that secret sauce energy that's inside of you. Some people's secret sauce is the fact that they're more quiet and subdued and have a very angelic sounding voice and a soothing and calming voice. Those people are very alluring and very interesting and magnetic in a different way. Then there's some people who are just really powerful and energizing, and you just want more of them because you want your energy to be increased, and you feel like you can do anything when you listen to them. That's another form of secret sauce. But I'm going to teach you today how to stand out in a saturated market. I don't care what market it is, does not matter to me. We can all stand out in it. So how you can stand out at it and discover and pull out that secret sauce inside of you and how to use it. Especially when, listen, I'm in a personal brand here. This is a personal brand, ProjectME with Tiffany Carter. What makes my brand different? Me. I make the brand different. What I stand for, my mission, my values, my intellectual property, my coaching style, my personality, the style, the fact that I'm whack as fuck, the fact that I swear, the fact that I give zero fucks, that stands out, right? Think of other people, authors, other people online that you follow. What is it that makes their brand stand out? Whether they have a physical product, whether they have digital products, whether they are an artist, whatever it is, what ultimately is making them stand out? It's the person who invented the thing, the person who owns the company, the founder of the company, the face of the company. That's what makes it stand out, is what it stands for, right? My number one core value is integrity. My number one core value for ProjectME with Tiffany Carter is also integrity. Do you see what I mean? So our companies become extensions of ourselves. And so that is what makes it unique and different. Yes, if you're having some kind of a product or service, it's a Me Too product, there has to be something that's different about it. That je ne sais quoi, as the French say, right? There has to be something unique about it. It has to be your messaging, your packaging, what you stand for. Maybe you give, 30% of your proceeds to certain charities, and that's like unheard of and so incredible. Maybe everything you use is, all natural. I don't know. But it has to be your secret sauce. So here's how you look at your secret sauce. Some of us are really aware of what others around us love about us, find annoying about us. And some of us haven't put much thought into it. Maybe we didn't want to. Maybe this is the first time you've ever heard of doing something like this. But I would want for you to ask people who you're close to list the 5 things they think about when they think about you. And they don't have to be like all roses and sunshine. What do they think about you? Like, I've done this exercise several times, and the answers are almost always the same. And it's that I am honest. I'm straightforward. I get smart a lot, which is nice. I don't see myself as smart. I'm smart in business, but I'm not book smart. So when I hear smart, I'm like, So I had to work like 10 times harder than a lot of people in school to get good grades. So like, that's just my own, connotation of smart. But I get smart. I get resilient, resourceful. And I'm like, wow, it's flattering. But I also then challenge these same people to say, okay, I appreciate those, and I hear those, and I accept those. What are some of my quirks? Because some people don't want to go out and say this is some of your personality that can be a pain in the ass. Some might not be so comfortable for some people to do that. So a way to ask is what are some quirky things I do? My idiosyncrasies that, you think of when you think of me. And I'm a crazy ass Virgo, right? So I am very particular. I'm an Enneagram 6. I have plan A, B, C, and D for everything, which is probably why I've had, successful business for 12 years. I have a plan for a plan for a plan, which is why I do a great job of helping you guys plan, right? When I travel, there's plan A, there's plan B. This is option, X, Y, Z. It makes me feel secure and safe. That can also drive some people crazy because I am not the most spontaneous person. That doesn't mean I'm not fun, but I'm just not spontaneous. So that I have a routine I'm pretty regimented about. I can be really regimented, so I have to be careful to not be so regimented. So I can be outspoken. So you fuck with someone I care about, or you're putting down people, you're someone who has a racist tone. I'm going to say something, and I don't give a fuck if you're at the table next to me and your conversation was none of my business. If you were being loud enough for me to hear it, you've made it my business, and now I'm going to say something. That can make some people uncomfortable. Because I say something when maybe it's not always appropriate to say something, or maybe they're concerned for my safety when I say something. But that is who I am, is to speak up. I also call people out. I do it with love, but I'll call people out in my life. You can't get away with your actions and words not matching in my life or as a coaching client of mine. I'm not going to be mean to you or abusive, but you're not going to get away with it because I care that much. I'm not going to allow you to self-sabotage yourself in my presence. I truly can't control ultimately what you do, but in my presence, I am definitely going to point it out. Do you see what I mean? So you guys have all these traits as well. Some of you just need to have them reflected back to you. So if you have a coach, that could be a good person to ask, but I would ask, and don't ask any toxic people in your life because they'll use this as a way to make you feel like shit. So don't be going out and asking, toxic Uncle Joe or, bitchy Aunt Susie. Okay. I want you to ask people who are going to be honest, but that are loving in their approach. And I want you to think about, what do you stand for? Like, I want you guys to look at what are your top core values. This isn't just some business 101 exercise. What do you stand for? And sometimes it's helpful to get to understand your secret sauce by also writing down what you don't stand for. That can be easier for people. So in this secret sauce, that's what makes you different. Are you someone who actually is more shy and reserved? Well, use that as your secret sauce. That doesn't mean in order for you to show up on social media, in order for you to make impact, that doesn't mean you have to be loud and a spaz and talk about pooping and whatever. You can do it in your own way and show up and hold space in that way. Some of the most powerful guides and teachers of mine are incredibly soft-spoken and very methodical in their wording, and they're beautifully enchanting people. But you need to shine a spotlight on what makes you different. We are all different. There's a million cliche sayings I can insert here. All of us are different. We were all created unique for specific, grander, divine purpose in this life. Period. End of story. We are all, some of us might have similar traits, right? Which is usually we'll find a lot of that in our friendships. We have a lot of similar traits, but we all have these nuances that make us different. Your nuances are your secret sauce, and I want you to shine a spotlight on them and infuse them into your brand, infuse them into your business, infuse them on your social media and your videos and in your writing. And you have to actually tell people who you are and what you stand for. So if you're someone who's an introvert like me, you're someone who's an introvert, well, shine a spotlight on your introvertness, share memes about being an introvert, joke about being an introvert, show yourself on a couch after being out in public for 30 minutes and now you're exhausted. Shine a spotlight on it. Let me think of some other examples where I do this, and you guys could probably think of them. I mean, you can look through my content, watch my Instagram and Facebook stories at ProjectME with Tiffany. Everything I post is strategic. It is not FMA. I mean, we know I have I'll share random things FMA, but everything I share is deliberate. It is on purpose. It is either to educate you, enlighten you, entertain you, and also to remind you of what this brand is. There's brand messaging in there. What is it about? What do you know you can come to Tiffany Carter for? You can come to me to get a fire lit under your ass. You can come to me because I will give it to you straight and I will tell you exactly what you need to do and not do in your business. Of course, it has to be in a way that feels good and aligned with you. I will tell you what works and what doesn't. I don't hold any special secrets. I'll tell it to you straight. So you know what you can get, you know what you're going to get from me. What are people going to get from you? Is it a safe space? Is it to feel calm? Is it an energy where you feel heard? Is it a softer place to land? What is it? And then you need to share and tell people what that is. So if you are someone who is high energy person. I have several friends like this that are very successful online. High energy. They also make a point of letting you know how high energy they are. In fact, they've made the high energy part of their brand. They say, I get asked all the time how I have so much energy, and I have kids, and I'm running a business, and I'm doing all these things, and I do this for my energy, and I do this for my mindset, which helps my energy. And so they've made that as part of their brand messaging around energy. Some other people have a more poetic style to them. There's someone I follow that does a beautiful job of really exuding this like feminine, sensual energy, but not in like, like a porn star way, but in a really beautiful way. And she uses that creative side of herself to bring the softer side out of Tiffany. So I know if I want to bring that softer side out and I want a dose of that like feminine energy, I want to be draped in that feminine energy, I go to her account. Are you guys starting to get where I'm going with this? So I want you to go and look also at some of your favorite accounts, and mine better be one of them, or I'll be very sad. And if I'm not, I'd like to know why, because I'm always willing to hear feedback. If you're like, girl, your like dance routines are getting real old, tell me. Okay. So when you go to these accounts, I want you to look at them with a different pair of eyes. I want you to go, okay, how do I feel, following this person, reading their content? Why do I gravitate to this account, to this person? And go, okay, I gravitate to them because they make me feel good. They remind me I can do it. They remind me I'm not alone. They remind me that it's possible. They keep it real. They're not, they're not fake and making it seem like, I just gave birth and now I have a 6-pack 5 months later. Like, what's up with that? Anyway, that's like genetic blessing. I hate, by the way, small tangent. I hate when I see people, influencers, online, offline, who are genetically blessed, but then make it seem like in their branding, or even if they don't have a business, in their social circles, like, oh, I work out 3 times a week. Like, they make it seem like they're doing something special to obtain that. But the reality is it's fucking natural. Like, for example, if I like started selling some like magical brow cream, like eyebrow cream to like get fuller brows, I'm genetically blessed as a hairy beast. So I already have full brows that I have to maintain. And now we're on like quarantine brows. So they're really full. I also have full, thicker eyelashes, again, from being a hairy beast. I don't know anyone who doesn't have full brows and thick eyelashes that isn't a hairy beast. Like, something, we get the good with the bad, right? And if I'm like telling you guys, I use this serum, but these are natural, like, that shit annoys me. I know, random side tangent, but I know all of you guys think the same thing, especially when it's like, I work out 20 minutes a day to maintain, and they have like perfect ab lines and arm cuts, and you're like, really? That's all you're having to do? You're either genetically blessed or you're eating steamed broccoli and chicken on the daily. Just saying. But I want you to look at your favorite accounts and go, why am I magnetized? Why am I drawn to this person? What is it about this person? Because every single person, and we all have like those top 5, 6 people that we follow, or we read their books or follow them on social media. And we always like seeing what they're up to. We're drawn to them. We're magnetized to them. So really start assessing why. And that's their secret sauce. So what's yours? I don't want you to be them. I just want you to be you. And if you're like, girl, I am boring, I am not that interesting. I hear that from a lot of you, especially my fellow empath, HSP introverts. It's like, well, I don't really go anywhere. I'm really not that interesting. Everybody's interesting. I can't tell you how many people I've interviewed. I mean, thousands. From my broadcasting career to being a podcaster, to interviewing, employees. I have interviewed so many people. I have never not found one person interesting. Even basic people I find interesting, because I'm fascinated by their basicness. Everyone has a story. Everyone has unique traits. Everyone is interesting. Why, if you think you're that boring, why not own that you're boring and put a spotlight that you're boring and make that your damn thing, that you're boring? Like, make it your whole thing. Like, boring person problem, hashtag boring person problems, and make it a funny thing. Why not own it? That's what I mean by shining a spotlight on your own stuff. That's why I shine a spotlight on, being an introvert. That's why I shine a spotlight on me being whack and like going off on tangents. Shining a spotlight on being zero fucks and telling you guys like it is and showing you the shit behind the scenes and what it's really like, not just on the good days. I shine a spotlight. All of that is true and is in alignment and is real. When you meet me in person, and those of you who have, I know, can vouch for this, I'm never nervous about meeting any of you in person. Well, that's aside from any weird 90 Day Fiancé people. Because I'm not worried like, oh, they're going to be let down when they meet me in person because they've grown to like really like me, online and on the podcast. And when they meet me in person, they might not like me. I am not concerned. I'm the same fucking person. You apply to work with me for my 2-month private business coaching and you get accepted to get on a video call with me. I've never had one person go, oh my God, you're not what I expected. Every person says, I feel like I know you and you're totally the same. That's correct. And I also know quite a few of you have probably experienced the opposite, where maybe you really like someone online and then you met them in person and it was really disappointing because they weren't the same. And I've had that happen quite a few times. That was shocking to me because I was like, how could you be so vastly different? That's so fucking crazy to me. So all you have to do is be yourself and shine a spotlight on it. I'm really excited to hear some of the feedback that your loved ones have shared with you about your personality traits, about some of your quirks. If you feel stuck on which things to shine a spotlight on, always DM me at ProjectME with Tiffany on Instagram. I am inside my DMs literally 2 hours every single day, 7 days a week, getting to know you guys better, answering questions. So if you get stuck somewhere where you're like, well, I don't know where to go with this, DM me and list, what you got in terms of feedback. And sometimes it's easier for someone else to point out your secret sauce, especially if that someone else is a business coach who knows what secret sauce will actually sell and translate, and what secret sauce is fine for your personal life, but really won't, translate that well. It doesn't sell. We want the secret sauce inside you that sells, not the secret sauce inside you that's beautiful and great. That can just be reserved for like your in-person, everyday life. But the stuff that sells, we want to shine a spotlight on it. Do me a favor, you guys. Leave a 5-star written iTunes podcast review. I am not going to stop telling you guys to do this because that is how the show grows. It's how the iTunes podcast algorithm works. If we do not have a steady state of 5-star podcast reviews, the show does not grow. So if you love the show, you want it to stick around, you want me to be able to keep paying my wonderful producer and coordinator behind the scenes and have me feel appreciated for all of this amazing information and all the fun that we have here, please head over to iTunes and leave a 5-star written review. If you don't know how, guess what? You can literally Google, how do I leave a iTunes podcast review? And up will pop up the simple 5 steps. It takes 90 seconds. And you get rewarded from me from even doing it. So as long as you include your name or your Instagram handle inside of your review, and then you DM me, obviously I have to verify you did the review, I'm going to treat you to a coffee drink of your choice, or a protein drink or smoothie. So you're actually technically getting paid to do it. So that would be nuts not to do it. I'm treating you because I value your time, and I'm all about the power of money and the energy exchange of money. So that's also why I do it, because it feels really good for me to give, and it feels good for me to receive. So this is one of those give and receive things that really channels a beautiful super attractor abundance energy, which is what I always want to be in, and I always want to keep you guys in. So thank you for doing that. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you guys. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.